We are fast approaching my favorite time of year. When the leaves start to fall, the hoodies can come out of storage, and the campfire times are just that much more enjoyable. This is a trip my son and I took last fall. It was on this trip that I met Cory. With an infectious laugh and a smile that never seems to fade, Cory's the kind of guy that inspires you from the minute he rolls up. While his XJ build may look mild from the outside, it's packed with custom features that open a world of exploration possibilities he would not otherwise be able to access on his own.
Confined to a wheelchair my entire life, born disabled.
Made it to West Virginia. Yay. We're actually camping really close to Olson Fire Tower, like Davis, Thomas, that kind of area. And Aspen with me. Got our pop-up camper. So we have heat tonight because it's going down below 40. And got a little place to hang out too if we need it. Beautiful fall colors, lots of leaves on the ground, but still lots of leaves on the trees. So this is really nice. The group I'm meeting up with had told me to be careful of a ditch just before the campsite. With the topography and the road layout through here, it's easy for a coordinate to be slightly off and you have a completely wrong area in mind. That's exactly what happened here. I had this ditch and a campsite shortly on the other side of it in mind, but it was the wrong area. I ended up turning around at that campsite because it was not my friends that were there waiting. Of course, I didn't figure that out until I had already dragged my camper through this ditch, and I had to do it again. Flexi Jeep. Ditch.
That's a bumper. It looks like if you go any... No, it was just a small rock, and it was... No, it wasn't the bumper, it was the jack. Now that was the bumper.
Looking at that bumper this morning and thought, probably we need to cut.
Oh, just a jack. No idea what that was. Yeah, your bumper's a little bent. Just a little. One thing.
What?
I am cold.
Almost camp.
That's rocks hitting the jack. Or your bumper snapping. The bumper
Oh,
broke.
that's not good. Kind of need that to set up the bed back here.
Really?
Yeah. Here's what we're gonna do.
What?
This one behind this tire.
Walk. What are you gonna do about the other side?
This side that needs to go up.
The weird traction board thing is working.
Had our coordinates wrong, and we are on Canyon Rim Road. We should be on Olson Tower Road, which is right where we came in. It would have been pretty easy to get to, but we had to go and make it difficult. We're getting there, but we gotta go back through that ditch. A little bit of a different approach this time. Hopefully it plays out a little bit better, and hopefully we've already done the extent of the damage that we're gonna do. We're through it. Worst of it anyway. Bumper's kind of still there.
Sort of.
It's there. It's just not quite the same shape it was. Well, we made it to camp last night. I'll show you the ditch that we were supposed to go through. I showed you the ditch that we thought we were supposed to go through. But we got here kind of right at dusk, made camp. That's our little spot there. And there's everybody else hanging out. We got a fire kind of in the middle there, some string lights and stuff, which is pretty nice effect at night. And man, what a cool spot. Very private, not super remote, but remote enough. And let's check out this ditch, which was no problem for me. Unlike the ditch that I thought I was supposed to cross to get here. And this is the ditch, which is really not a thing. I mean, it's a ditch, but probably not going to show up on camera. It's muddy. But yeah, I just shot through that at a diagonal and it was not a problem at all. A little different than the ditch I did try to go through. And the dumbest thing was I was so close to this spot when I made the wrong turn last night. We're getting ready to head out. I'm gonna let a little air out of the tires because we'll mostly be off pavement or low speed today. And I think we're heading to Canaan Loop first, and then maybe some stuff I haven't seen before. But either way, it's all new to Aspen, and there's some folks here that probably haven't done it too. I know a guy that came here with a pop-up camper and didn't use four-wheel drive.
Yeah, I've been seeing pieces here and there. I mean, I see pieces of Johnny's camper.
We're headed along Canyon Rim Road towards the town of Douglas. This is where I was last night. You can see this same exact ditch. It's much easier without a non-off-road camper behind you. And we're going to see some things along this road that I never knew were there.
Is his brother coming?
This is kind of a long lost waterfall. You can kind of see maybe this was a sign at one point.
Yeah.
Pretty chewed up, and this just looks like water runoff from the road coming down in here. The blaze on the tree here, but you don't really see that driving past, so see how it'd be easy to miss. It's called Blackwater.
Why?
Oh, look at it, looks like iced tea.
Of course it does.
Just because of all the decomposing leaves. Just a short distance down the trail from the waterfall we just were at is another hidden gem along Canyon Rim Road. You can find Canyon Rim Road easily on OnX GPS. You should see at least one point of interest that would get you approximately close to where these are. I don't like to give away exact locations for these things because, one, geotagging locations drives a ton of unwanted traffic to them, and two, just knowing that they're there is half the battle. With a little route planning and some scavenging along the way, these should not be difficult to find.
Somebody's gonna push him off the rock.
What was that, little brother?
This is cool.
This is wow. The collar's still there. That's all.
Yeah, the color's perfect.
Yes, absolutely.
Next weekend is gonna be bare. So we've been wheeling down here in West Virginia. You've seen this guy out in his XJ. This is Cory. Cory and I bumped into each other at the Overland Expo. Was that last weekend?
Yes.
And now I didn't even know he was coming to this, but we were both coming to this event here that John Bain puts on, and we've been camping together and wheeling together around Davis and Thomas, West Virginia, and it's been a great time. Cory's Jeep is hanging in there with everyone else, and he's got a pretty sweet little overland setup here. He's gone across the country a couple times. I want you guys to meet him and see his setup.
Yeah, thanks for introducing me today, and it's been a blast wheeling with you this weekend, and it's just a good time out there, and yeah, it was just super nice to meet you and get to wheel with you and with the whole group of people. We had a really good group of people out here this weekend, and John and Missy and their brother Jerry, and my brother came out down from Ohio, and yeah, it was just a good weekend of wheeling. I've been confined to a wheelchair my entire life, born disabled, but I was born and raised as somebody who just tries hard and gives everything they can. If they want something bad enough, they'll do it. So I've actually driven a Honda Element my entire life since I was 16 years old, and I've driven 2 of them since, so it's really been the only vehicle I've driven. And you know, after quite a few years of driving the same vehicle over and over and over, I just had the itch in my body that I needed something different, and I needed a project to keep myself busy and keep my mind busy from racing, and I decided to get into the Jeep world. So I was looking around on Craigslist, and I found this Jeep here, bone stock, for about $2,200, and you know, I knew it wasn't the most practical vehicle for me, but I just needed something fun. And I was born and raised camping and being outdoors, hunting and fishing, and I figured this was the next best step for me, and I decided to buy a Jeep and start building it up in my garage. So as my project grew and as I got into this a little bit more and a little bit more, and I knew I wanted to take this Jeep across the country and head out to California and Colorado and see as much of the country as I could, I realized that I needed to do something with the inside of the Jeep. I needed a place to sleep, a place for my wheelchairs to go, my fridge and all my camping gear, and to be self-sufficient on the road for 30 days at a time. And this here is what I came up with. I did just a full sheet of plywood from the back of the seats all the way to the back edge of the Jeep here, and I put it on a hinge, so if I wanted to flip it all up, I could flip it up still and put my bench back in and still have a bench seat. But yeah, I leave it all flat now. It's just a 2-seater, and I kept everything as simple as I could. My whole life's been about simplifying, making things just a little bit easier for myself. So I try to keep it as simple and practical as I could. So I ended up putting just some foam inside of a Coleman sleeping bag, and that's my mattress bed there. And I ended up drawing the entire drawer system up on CAD first to make sure that it would fit in the Jeep just as I would needed it, and that certain tolerances would be met. I needed things to be a certain width, a certain height, so that my wheelchairs could fit in there without taking them apart. So, and I needed a way to store all my stuff, and I wanted it simple, so no drawer sliders. Everything slides out on furniture slides, so it comes out about there. And I got everything you'd ever need in it, and maybe a little bit more, but inside this drawer is 2 cast irons, all my cooking utensils, eating utensils that I would need, cooking, cleaning, bug repellents, and that's all in this bottom section of the drawer. On the face of it here, I have a pouch, I call it my junk drawer pouch. Little things like making things easily accessible for me, so I don't have to dig and reach, just Velcro. Yeah, same thing with the Swiss Army knife, just Velcroed on the carpet. Same thing with this bag, it just Velcros on there. Just simple for me. Everything's within arm's reach, nothing's too high. It just works out well for me. So, and same thing, I didn't want to bury certain things under certain things. So in my drawer, I made a shallow drawer with a cubby up top, and that cubby is what my Coleman stove goes in there. I have another slide out table that attaches to the tire carrier. And then yeah, kind of everything has its place, and that's all I have room for. So, and then a big hurdle for me was, where is the refrigerator or cooler, whatever I was going to use, where was it going to go, and how was I going to get in and out of it? As you can see, it's out of reach now, and it took a lot of thinking, because a typical refrigerator slide just wasn't going to work for me. It just wasn't flexible enough, a little too complicated, I guess, for what I needed. So, and I'll show him around the backside, but essentially I have it set up on a set of E-track system, and on the back of the fridge I have it bolted to it, and that runs all the way to the back of my box. And those straps have a little bit of bungee to them, and they're adjustable, so as they get a little looser I can adjust it as needed. But this allows me to reach in, get what I want in and out of the fridge, and then when I'm done, I just slide it right back. And same kind of thing, it's on the bottom of the fridge, I glued big furniture sliders up underneath, so that it can just, I mean, it'll just slide right in and out on me. So, and then I put a lip on it so it can't go left and right, and I have a bungee that I can bungee it down from the front side if I'm really wheeling hard. But we were beating it up pretty good yesterday, and it didn't come flying off there. So, but just, you know, a little bit of everything had to be within arm's reach for me. So my air compressor chuck is right here. Actually, the whole air compressor is right under there. My air up, air down hose and systems there. My folding solar panel is there. You know, I kind of keep it simple, even though there's a lot to it. I could probably talk all day about this little things in it, but you know, I got my fishing pole magneted up against the side there, and ran some RGB LEDs around there, so when I'm stealth camping, crossing the country, I can flip them to red and keep it a little stealthier in there. And put magnet curtains up around the corners, so all the curtains just snap magnet right up around. I can slide them open and closed. And I filled the cubby, the empty cubby that nobody uses. I ended up putting a solar controller in there. I have 200 watts of solar on the top of the Jeep, Renogy panels, and then a Renogy controller. And then I put some USBs, 12-volt socket, voltage monitor in the back there, and just used some seatbelt webbing to create a little pocket back there, so the stuff would kind of stay in. So put the controller, velcroed the controller to the wheel well so I can turn the lights on and off, and just really try to keep it simple for me. And again, everything had to be within arm's reach without having to try too hard. And you know, it works good for me, and it works good for a lot of other people. And but I just kind of have a different set of requirements that I got to meet for myself, and this just happened to work out. It's the most unpractical vehicle that I could have picked for myself to get in and out of and drive, but I tell you what, it's a lot of fun. I was just tired of driving a Honda Element since high school, and I just had that itch to get something different and drive something different. And I knew I liked to adventure and off-road and camp, and that's what I built this Jeep for, was just to get me out there and make things just a little bit easier as far as living out of it. And yeah, like John said, I've driven this old XJ to King of the Hammers earlier this year and back, and all the way to San Diego. And then I spent 6 weeks in Colorado with it, and just been having a lot of fun with this Jeep and tinkering with it and organizing it. And then the whole back tire carrier here, I had to come up with a simple way to get those traction boards on and off. So I just did a 9-inch bolt with a quick release handle, a knob, spin knob on it. So one knob takes them off, and the one ammo can's got all my ratchet straps, and the ammo can below it has my bottle jack and everything to remove a tire and put it back on. And you know, I have my fire extinguisher, shovel, rake, water, gas, extra bungees, an umbrella, just a little bit all tucked in there, again, just within arm's reach, and just to be able to. And I designed a little table that was in the drawer to snap on that back tire carrier there. So if I want to be real quick and easy about it, I can do it like that. So it's just been a fun rig, and boy, I've taken it a lot of places and had it buried, and It's a fairly mild build, but it's got me everywhere all the guys on 35s go, so, and bigger, I guess, but no, I've had a blast with it, so it's been a good rig to me.
We're at the infamous washout on Canyon Rim Road. You've seen some of my videos before. Milestar Expedition 3, they came through here, and it was not smoothed over. This is by no means completely fixed, but they've definitely had some dirt brought in and excavated this so that pretty much anybody can get through here now. So that's good. But they also did leave an obstacle for us. Another one of these things. I've been here a bunch of times and never knew this was here. There's a bunch of ovens in the ground. So,
Whoa.
brick ovens used for refining coal.
Nobody had to see me
Camping
try
monies?
to up through this hole.
You camp in one? You want to camp in one? Pretty wild.
You don't need to read this. Or this. Okay.
Look,
Yeah.
there used to be a charger on top of it that would roll along the top with this thing, and it would dump the coal into these ovens.
Oh.
The whole thing flew out of there. Cake's perfect. Cake's perfect. Look at this. The carrot kissed the top there. The carrot, the cake. So it's our dad's birthday today, and it's his he liked carrot cake, so I brought carrot cake for us to eat. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Look, the carrot cake didn't even like budge. the cake went up and kissed the lid. Yeah, just went. That's cool. Stayed intact. Yeah, awesome.
This one's a good bit more of a tourist stop, but still well worth it if you've never seen it. Blackwater Falls State Park. It's a short walk off the road, plenty of parking, and it is absolutely gorgeous. When it's flowing like this and the leaves are falling, it does not get any better. After this, we're headed around Canaan Loop, one of the most popular high clearance roads in this area.
We are going to make some new memories with some new scratches to go with those memories. Be careful, guys. There's a dumpster to the right here. That's funny.
The terrain on Canaan Loop is not difficult. There are a couple water crossings, some slippery ledges, and as Zach said earlier, the opportunity for some scratches and pinstriping. And not unlike Canyon Rim Road, there are a few hidden gems along this road that I didn't know about as well. There are a few legal campsites along the Loop Road, and this next vista is actually just off one of these campsites. You'll see there's one with a more open grassy area approximately halfway through the high clearance part of the road, and it's well worth pulling off and exploring a little bit if you see that.
Finishing out Canaan Loop Road here. It's pretty much just a gravel road. We passed a ton of cars through here coming the other way, and it's just kind of getting to the pavement from here and then back to camp. What a great trip. We are pulling out, headed home, and fall colors are, I would say, kind of right at or past peak here. So we definitely caught the best of it. Had a great time camping, touring the area on the dirt roads, and can't wait to do it again next year. What do you think, Aspen? Something we should come back and do again?
Yeah.
We won't take the wrong route on the way in. How about that?
Yeah, that's better.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.